Good afternoon or evening or good night. I don't really care what time zone you're in. I am woke Asian guy.
And egg white.
Sort of like your friendly Asian Spider-Man, but with no superpowers. Well, if being f***ed off all the time is a superpower, I can take on Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Bring 'em on! Anyway, today's nonsense is about the right-wing popular newspaper which we choose not to name. What more can you talk about the right-wing popular newspaper which we choose not to name without me having to bash your face in verbally with the same old crap that they come out with? Anyway, you read it or you don't read it, but it's the fact that they are very divisive and manipulative in what they do. We all know that, but sometimes people get lost in that. Now, let's be honest, I actually read the right-wing popular newspaper which we choose not to name, not because I find it informative or interesting, but more out of what narrative they're pushing. I just find it fascinating to read what's between the lines. I should technically call this Divisive Watch. Jingle. Divisive Watch. Now, one recent article which I read yesterday had the following headline, and I will post a link in the show notes, right? The article headline, which grabbed my attention, admittedly, said, "Posh white people need not apply. BBC advertises for a £20,000 a year trainee journalist job at Radio 1, but the role is only open to candidates from ethnic minority or lower socio-economic background." Technically, they're trying to level the playing field because, as you know, there's always unconscious bias, but I'll get back to that. Let's break this down. The divisive headline to inflame people this week are people like poshies who feel that they're locked out of the job prospects. I don't know how that actually works, as if they're going to apply for country file, but, let's move on. Now, posh people are saying that they're victimised. Just to be clear, this is a parody podcast and we try not to discriminate against anyone with higher educational values. So, we are an inclusive podcast. We invite everybody to share their knowledge. We do not discriminate against anyone, even from the upper classes. Right-wing popular newspaper which we choose not to name is telling posh people that they're being victimised. I doubt very much posh people are looking at it going, I feel victimised, because they don't really care until they read the article. So that means I will start getting a food parcel ready to send to the worst affected poshies, right? That means I'm going to have to go to the nearest Waitrose and buy grouse and caviar just to make them feel better. And also buy some famous grouse for myself, because I've got a drink problem! What do you think, Egg White?
Don't with me when it comes to a debate.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Egg White, for informing me on that. The article itself actually went to great lengths to prove that such a thing was illegal because it was a job, not a trainee position, which means that as a job, it's illegal to single out any type of group like poshies. So it was discriminatory. Words fail me. They even interviewed in the article an employment lawyer to find out or prove that it was illegal. And I love the fact that they posted a photo of the lawyer looking smug, just so they can actually say that it's a legitimate situation. Having the actual picture there felt like they were going to try the case. The poshie versus the BAME. Order in court. Order. In fairness, if I was there in the dock, the court-appointed artist would need a lot of brown crayon. I'm just saying. So the thing that's making me lose my shit is because in the job posting, they're trying to make it fair on diversity, but it's unfair on poshie, and they're losing their shit. Or told to lose their shit. Now, imagine some connected poshie who wants to get his overprivileged son into a job on Country File or Antiques Roadshow, but is locked out of getting that specific post because of equality. So, Crispin, the made-up name that I've just come up with, can't get his foot in the door because his parents can't artificially engineer the actual posting for him to squeeze himself into. That's not fair. Trying to get your child through the back door of a job that he can get without going for an interview, and he can't even do that. Very angry. Real very angry. I can actually imagine the job interview for Crispin, right? Oh, hi, Crispin. I can see you have just left school, have no relevant media experience. Yeah, start Monday, yeah? Okay, great. In fact, I'll put you under the wing of our exec producer duo. Yeah, and they'll teach you everything. Yeah. How are your rich parents? Are they great? Are they well? Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll have lunch on Sunday. Okay, yeah. We'll shoot grouse together. Yeah. Crispin, welcome to the team. Yeah. I was at your christening as well. Yeah. I put water on your head, the works. Yeah. Compare that to a person from a diverse background.
starring William Conrad.
Ah, yeah, Mr. Patel, yeah, I'm assuming that's your CV. Yeah, I haven't really placed any close attention to it. Yeah. No, we don't have any discriminatory practices here. Yeah. You're Asian, you say? Oh, God, I wouldn't even notice, yeah. It says here you have spent 2 years doing a media degree and you technically have the skills we need. And you are clearly enthusiastic when I give the job to Crispin. Yeah, Crispin, who I've known since birth. Yeah, his birth. Jokes. I did have a long, hard think about this. Actually, I didn't. As you're aware, with unconscious bias, I routinely hire people who look like me, so that leaves you out. But hey, keep working on getting experience and someone may hire you. Not by me, though. Yeah. You'll stick out. You won't like it here. No, everyone's really nice. Drinks tea and biscuits. Yeah, we talk about horse races. Yeah. Get up. Now, the situation is not perfect, and things should not have to be this way, but unfortunately they are, and people are having to push back. But the weird thing was, the article actually popped up as I was scanning the headlines randomly, and the article was actually published 3 months prior to when I saw it the other day. So their algorithms assume I am a bigot and place their articles accordingly because they don't do facial recognition. Again, the irony. Also, this brings me the one thing they have kept right under their news articles, the message boards. I think people have forgotten about that, but it's the first place I go to whenever I read an article that's divisive. So everyone knows that these things were started as a way for people to express their opinions. Then they realised we can just get people to bash and get angry, and the more angry people, the more we'll read, the more they'll buy the paper, the more clickbait that will happen. So there's a couple of things I actually read. So someone actually posted a reply saying, minority groups don't get the same opportunity as rich white folk. This is to help many disadvantaged. Now, I personally agree with that. Unfortunately, 859 people disliked that and made it so. Any of the other articles? And a lot of the other comments were basically clickbait. So someone called Kay Lowry, how about poor white women? Come on, girls. What say you we crash their party? So, dog lover woof. Love it, from Manchester. So who decides what is post? If you pronounce your T's in your words and don't say your beer instead of better, ridiculous. The BBC should collect the licence fee from the minorities they're targeting. See how long Gary Lineker would stay around on £50 a week. Merit should be the only criteria. Enough of this PC nonsense. No wonder the UK is going down the worldwide intelligence ratings. Was the UK going down in the worldwide intelligence ratings? Can someone email me on that one? Oh, look. Oh, my God. Someone actually normals replied. Fair enough. I completely agree. The BBC are addressing an important issue here. 1,259 dislikes. People just did not like that one. Oh, I love this one. Paddy McPaddy. Excellent. From Ireland. So that's someone who's not Irish. Probably just being divisive. Blah, 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 blah. What he said is like, I couldn't really care less. But the reply underneath goes, that's because you are very stupid. Love it. Love it. What's the best rated one? 275 likes. Discrimination. Just one word. From Stephen JJJ2. From Tampa, United States. So someone who... What? So someone who's not even in the UK and is from Tampa Bay, Florida, retirement town, has just said discrimination. And that's got 11,733 likes. I don't know. Okay. The numbers tell everything. 11,000 people have gone, yes, discrimination. And 275 said dislike. I don't even think the moderators actually look at this and actually care. Because at the end of the day, it's just algorithms, isn't it? The more people, 11,000 people clicked it like. Okay, there's 11,000 eyeballs to sell more tat. But this is what I love. In fact, there is a disclaimer at the bottom saying that the views expressed here are not exactly the views expressed because they want to distance themselves from it. But the problem is, and I'll tell you a little secret, these are the views that are expressed by them. These are their views. They've just made the views think that they're your views. So you can actually learn from it. Isn't it amazing? Also, I don't know if anyone's actually read about the article that Dido Harding, or as I call her, the Jeanette Cranky that grew up, wrote about the fact that she wanted to end reliance on foreigners. Now, I haven't actually read the article itself because it's under a Times paywall, and I'm a cheap Indian bastard. What do you think, Egg White?
Don't with me when it comes to a debate.
Ah, okay, cool. Thank you, Egg White, for informing me on that. She just sounds like Nigel Farage, but with a rather high-pitched voice. And it's just the same old shit, really, because I don't know if anyone's actually told her, but everyone is addicted to cheap labour. But honestly, the businesses thrive on foreign labour. So who's that twat that owns Wetherspoons? Tim Martin? Wetherspoons guy? Even though he was a pro-Brexit melon, he's now saying that they need foreigners to work in their bars. So they need migrant labour. So the migrant labour that they wanted to get rid of under that whole divisive kind of Brexit policy. So now there is a shortfall. So I don't really understand where all the students are that have left university that want to work for a minimum wage job. Yeah, I don't know how that's working. Okay, one great example is the American prison population. Those inmates who are probably in there. But did you know that 3,000 items that are bought in shops by the public are made in prison? Even in America, cheap labour is prison labour, is cheap labour, is prison labour. Talking of foreigners, we actually have a letter from an alien entity. At first, I think, let me read it. Dear Earthling, I am Grosh from the planet Bastard. Interesting planet. Don't know if that's in our solar system, or they must have come from a long way out. We listened to your podcast while orbiting your puny planet and we're thinking of invading. I'm assuming this is how they sound, so I'm just going to carry on with that stereotype. Our question is, because we are more culturally advanced, we are usually thinking of invading America, but that seems to be the cliche perpetuated by American cinema. We are wondering if you think it would be okay to invade somewhere neutral like Ecuador or African continent. Not only will it give us a fair advantage, but we do quite like the tropical atmosphere. Also, we can bypass Will Smith and Arnie as they look quite badass and might prove to be a challenge. I noticed these people are ageless. We've been watching their movies for 30 years and they haven't changed once, so we think they are badass. If this was to go ahead, will this be recognised less as a Hollywood movie and more like world cinema? Let us know what you think, and while we wait, we will arm our troop ships. We love Adam Sandler films, by the way. They are very funny. And, well, that is actually a really nice, respectful email. Asking us for permission where to invade. I agree with them. It's not very woke these days for, like, aliens to invade America first and leave the rest of the world out. You know, I mean, you want to destroy a few kind of places, like, you know, Watford. Watford could do with a bit of blowing up, an invasion. So my advice for Grosh from the planet Bastard. If you can hear me, I know signals take time. Please don't invade before you actually hear this message. If you can hear me now, by all means, that is not all about America. I would also insist tropical countries may rust your spaceships, so do use lubricants. Yeah. This now reminds me of my Chechen Superman pitch.
Well, clap your hands to what he's doing.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Hollywood producer. Basically, superheroes always end up in America, never in any other foreign country. Always America. I understand that's the Hollywood way. But Chechen Superman is basically a spin on the idea. So if the alien from another planet ends up in Chechnya and basically is brought up by a Chechen family, but he has all these superpowers, what would actually happen is they would make him work on the farm. They wouldn't allow him to become a superhero, saving the world. He'd have his extraordinary strength to push a cart. He'd have his extraordinary energy to actually fix a wheel with both his hands. He could run to the shops and buy eggs, then come back in super sharpish time. Basically, it's how they would actually use those superpowers for the good of them. Not for the good of the world, but for the good of them. That's how families work. You see? That's how international families work. Anyway, the budget is £50 million and I want Bruce Willis to be Chechen Superman. This has been the podcast and I'm going to start drinking now very heavily because I'm pissed off. Good night. And if you like easy listening music, this is our outro music.
Does this sound better? Joy. 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 Does this sound better? Joy.